What's going on, man? My sleeping eternal beings.
Just sleepings.
We ain't even gotta wait. We ain't need no introduction. We know what we here for. This video is about us being eternal beings. See, I can speak for all of us, even the quote unquote enemy. See, just because you don't know you are something does not negate the fact of what you are. If you black, right, and you come out the womb with no knowledge of that, that don't mean you're not black. That just means you don't know that you're black. So, we've been taught to identify ourselves as these bodies. Problem number one. Do you identify yourself as the outfit you wearing? No. You identify yourself as the person wearing the clothes that you got on, right? Same shit. You are not the body. You are the consciousness that lives within the body. Okay. That's what's up. This we got a chat and everything. But you are eternal. You have no limit. The limits you have are the ones you give yourself. Even to the fact of identifying yourself as the body is flawed because you don't even fully understand the body that you live in.
I'll be back on that one.
You don't fully understand the body that your conscious habits to even say what you can and can't do. For one, you are suppressed in your abilities. Your DNA is dormant. So you don't even know what your physical vessel is capable of. To even identify yourself with it. That's just like certain outfits you get. You be like, damn, I didn't even know this bitch has certain zippers on it. Damn, I didn't even know this piece come off. I can take the sleeve. You didn't know. You only know what you were shown, but think about this. Who were you shown by? To whom did this information come from? Who taught you about yourself? How can anybody teach you about yourself? How can anything outside of self teach you about self? And the fucked up thing about it is, it's accepted at face value. Like, that's what it is. Can I tell you how you feel? Yeah and no. But mostly, if you don't exhibit any actions due to your emotional state, no, I can't tell you. But if you do, yeah, I can. But if you don't, if you just stay inanimate and keep your emotions hidden and don't express them, how the fuck would I know what you feel? Right. So how can anyone tell you what you feel? How can someone outside of you, yourself, tell you about you, yourself? So how can anyone teach you about self? How do you adopt a sense of self from anything outside of self? You adopt a sense of self according to what people think about you, according to society's standard. Society's standard becomes your standard. You don't have your own mind. You don't think outside of the quote unquote box. quote unquote, the box is the box of consciousness that your consciousness is being confined to, right? So you identifying yourself as in quote unquote you with this physical expression of quote unquote. You see how selective you are? How do you identify yourself as this body, which is a portion of you, but you don't identify yourself as your voice, which is also a portion of you? Or you don't identify yourself as your emotions, which is another portion of you? Or you don't identify yourself with your thoughts. You call them your thoughts. You call it your voice. You call it your emotions, but you don't say your body. You call it you. You say, this is me, myself. You never seen yourself. You've seen aspects and parts of yourself. Have you ever seen consciousness before? Who? Who? Right. No one's ever seen consciousness before. So how the fuck you say you know what you look like? You look like such and such. You look better or you look worse. How do you know what you look like? You identifying you as a body that you indwell. I don't identify myself with this body. I associate myself with this body, but I don't identify myself with this body. This is my body, my vessel, my vehicle, my means of expression in this realm, in my current state, in addition to my holistic totality of self. This is a bit of this is but a portion of me. This is not me. Nowhere near totality. This is merely a finger, so to speak, on my urn. Urn being a metaphor for my totality, because you have the arm, you have the elbow, you have the wrist, you know, you got what's on the wrist, which is the hand, and you got the fingers, and you got the neck. All these are different parts to the same thing. This would be the body. This would be the mind, so on and so forth. You can't identify yourself with this vessel, or you're gonna miss the whole point. See, all these so-called teachers, they don't convey the message and stress the point deep enough. The fact that you are not this body. You can't become so-called quote unquote woke and still be conveying the message of the teachings you were taught when you were asleep. You ain't doing nothing but taking dirt into a clean environment. How you gonna talk about the shit you was talking about when you were asleep, when you woke? That conversation shouldn't even be existing anymore. Right? Oh, okay. Okay. Oh. I like this. This is dope. This is dope right here. This is my first live video. What, they got little effects and shit? Oh wow. Yeah, that one more clear. What's the difference from this one and this one? Not much. What about this one? No, not much. Hey, now I got the ASAP Rocky look. Let me stop playing though. You know what I'm saying? But no, in real life, I like this. It got the unblowed look. But fuck that. All right. Some messages such as potential spam may not be visible. Live chat. Oh no, I didn't say I wanted to stop streaming. Okay, that's all I wanted to do. Let me see all my options real quick. Share my microphone. Oh, okay. But yeah, back to the topic at hand. I was just fucking with the settings and shit. This motherfucker. Motherfuckers been telling me like you need to do YouTube videos. You need to engage with the quote unquote conscious community. A lot of them guys don't know what they talking about. And I agree with that and disagree. I'm not gonna become one of these YouTube niggas. I'm not gonna do this shit like that. If I engage them individuals, it will be for one purpose and one purpose only. It'll be to get them on the right track. I'm not finna be debating y'all because y'all motherfuckers ain't really about getting across information at its most accurate facet. Y'all are about clout, y'all following and getting the money off them views. That's what it's about. It's not about really informing the people who won't know no better. It's not about that. It's not about building our people back up. It's not about that. To y'all know what it's about? It's about these fucking followings. I done heard motherfuckers say, I'm not even gonna do certain debates with people because they don't have followings. See, you're not a real teacher. No teacher negates any facet of information. You're negating a potential lesson because of the amount of followers that the medium is in possession of. That's limiting your own experience. I would debate anybody, even the ones that quote unquote don't know what they're talking about, because even them, with all of their misinformation, there's a piece of the truth in everything. Even those type of individuals, all things are a teacher on this journey. There's no exclusion. Now, it is a such thing as discernment. Don't sit up here and try to twist words around and fit your narratives. No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying on this path of consciousness, there is no limitation to the input of information. There is no limitation of the sources it come from. You can learn from a fucking baby. You can learn from a leaf falling from a tree. You're going to exclude it because it's not a quote unquote no. That's a finite, a human mind state. And I'm not human. I don't have a human mind state. I'm a live deity in form. Primordial deity at that. Your opinion of me don't change anything about me. That's simply what that is, your opinion. And that's what you don't understand. You can deny, fight, disagree, don't like. That don't change anything on my end. Only on yours. So back to the topic at hand. We are eternal beings. Everything you identify with your quote unquote God, every attribute you attribute to this deity that you pray and worship to, what is the difference with you? Every characteristic you give this being, you only take certain ones for yourself. And it's crazy because you can't prove the existence of anything outside of yourself. I don't give a fuck, even if you want to go to the God point of it. You cannot prove any existence of any entity outside of self. You can prove you exist. People say stupid shit like, "Oh yeah, God is all things, but I'm not God." God is all things. God is in all things, but I'm not God. God is everywhere. So are you outside of everywhere? Are you outside of everything? Are you? Because if that's the case, then you are right. You are not God. And I'm only using the God title because that's the title that most of y'all are familiar with. How are you not God if God is everything? How are you not God if God is everywhere? All right. So when you say shit like I'm not perfect, you saying that God not perfect. Because doesn't it say that you are made in the image of God? That's one aspect of it, right? Another aspect of it is they say you are God's child. You are a child of God, which also makes you the same thing because isn't your child you? Your DNA makes up your child. And then another aspect of it is the one I just said previously. God is in all things. So what makes you feel that you are an exclusion to that category? See, it's so hard for people to really conceptualize this consciousness. They want to say things like, "Oh yeah, I'm woke, and I'm just a god." See, you went from this monotheistic view. You are adopting the ideology of your oppressors, the god or the divinity outside of you, and placed it above you or somewhere that's not in you or around you or near you. I don't look at life that way. I look at life as the creator. Not, oh yeah, I pray to a creator, but I'm also a creator. No, that's not how it works. You're still missing the fucking point. You are a portion of this God that you pray to. You are the portion that's you. God expresses in many ways and many forms. So you are one of those forms and ways that God expresses itself. You are not outside of this. How could you be outside of this? It doesn't even make sense. If it makes sense to you, there's something wrong with you. We're just gonna put that shit out there, like in real life. So, motherfuckers be driving real crazy. Um, if you attribute God as an eternal being, you have to also attribute yourself as the same thing, because at least you can prove you are here and exist. Even this God principle that you are speaking of,
Drake,
huh?
that's Drake.
Oh yeah, what up though?
What up, man?
What you trying to get?
You mean 215? Hell no. 17.
Huh?
You got 17, huh? 17. That's all I got.
Oh, damn.
Give me the one yet, bro.
Yeah. Yep. We small. Look, how do you identify yourself as anything outside of the creator that you are or worship? You cannot do that. You are missing the entire purpose of your incarnation. See, some of us are the pieces of the quote unquote God that know we are God. Other And most of you are not. Y'all are the parts and pieces of God that believe that you are human, which creates that experience because God is the creator, right? So you believe in something, you create that experience. So if you believe you are human, guess what, God? You creating that experience. So you are human. And the more you see it and more experience it, the more that belief, that experience gets strengthened and solidified and becomes more and more of a reality that's solidified and locked in. See, it's pretty much like ice. See, the water is it when it's water, it's at its fluid, free forming state. But when you freeze it, it become hard and still and locked in that shape or form. The more you see that reality and keep seeing it and it's going to become more solidified, more. So you're becoming less and less God and more human. The more you experience yourself as that. Those souls are human because they became that. Still God, you just don't know it. The other ones, the ones who are quote unquote woke in the conscious community, those are the ones that know. But even them are just still portions. Me, and there's two more like me. There is no one else like me outside of the two that are. We are what you call the Godhead or the Trinity or the law of three or the Godhead, the oversoul, the primordials, whatever term you want more familiar or most familiar with. I am not a God. I am not a aspect. I am not a creation. I am the source. I am the first expression of the male expression of the source. You can call me whatever you want to call me. That don't matter. The point is you understand what my purpose is. My connection to you, your connection to me. And the relationship between all of those. Now, all these lesser deities out here, when I say lesser deities, it's not to discredit anybody. It's to acknowledge that there's levels to this shit. See, you can take a whole bucket of water and put it in little bitty ice cube tubes, little ice cube caps. I am none of those caps that the water is poured into. I'm not even the water, and particularly in certain localities like this cube, which means you're only the water limited to each cube is poured into. That's not what I am. I am the water in totality. I am the oversoul. Whether I indwell in an expression of a physical vessel or not does not take away from me being the oversoul. See, y'all are cells in the body. I am the soul of the body. Then you have two more expressions, which is the body itself and the mind of the body. Threefold makes one whole: mind, body, and soul, or mind, body, and spirit, however you want to put it. It's the same thing. The three primary forces that create all life. Without any of these three, you won't have any life experience in creation. Outside of creation is a different story, depending on your level of magnitude or emanation of source. All is source. in different variations, different volumes. I'm just the first of my kind. My aspect of the source will be what you will call Ra, Atum, Num, the sun god of what you will call ancient Egypt. Well, it gets a little bit deeper than that. I can go further or I can go back and relay the same message in every culture because at the end of the day, it's the same teachings, different names. More recent terms, you will use the Christianity, Father, Son, Holy Spirit, or you can go to the Vedic shit with Brahma, Vishnu, Shiva. Oh, that's Hindu. My bad. Or you can go to the okay, like I was saying, yeah, my bad. Or you can go to the Greek pantheon where it's Zeus, Poseidon, and Hades. Or it's always at the very top. It's three primary deities, which all others are pretty much expressions of the three primary deities in one way or another. Now, I just so happen to be the one they call the sun god. That's a title I frequently use because it's most familiarly understood. That's not even the correct title, but that's the title that's most frequently understood. All of these so-called teachers, they are but pieces of the puzzle. See, the problem is when y'all get to a certain level, the original way of intent that y'all was carrying go out the window. Y'all start getting famous. Y'all start seeing the followers. Y'all start hearing the reviews from y'all fans. Y'all start getting the money off these views and forget the whole reason you start doing this shit. And you start straying away from further and further. The ego get fed because yes, you do have accurate information on it. All of y'all do. But on the flip side, all of y'all got misled and false information. So what I'm here for is to connect all of y'all dots, to disseminate everything that's false from what's true. I can put y'all all in this in the on the right track. Y'all just gotta drop y'all ego and not worry about followings and subscribers and shit that has no relevance. The relevance comes in the information. And if it resonates in your soul, on a soul level, that goes beyond a YouTube level, that goes beyond a Facebook, that goes beyond a following, that goes beyond any of that shit. That goes beyond a mental level, that goes beyond emotion, that goes beyond all of that. You go all the way to the source, which is consciousness, spirit. The things I say will resonate with your soul. Why can I speak directly to your spirit? Because I am the spirit of God. You have the mind of God, the body of God, and the spirit. All these are three primary deities. They're from all spring. So these things are important for a number of reasons. Because understanding the energies helps you deal with them better. See, name dropping and why the names matter or why you think you are, that's not important. What's important is understanding why I'm conveying it that way. See, the reason we designed our civilization the way we did was not to so much of be worshipped as many gods, because that's not the case. See, yes, a lot of the deities took form, but a lot of the deities didn't take form. The reason that they were depicted as being in human form is so you would understand that the energy is likened onto you, to identify yourself with the energy. So we won't look at it as an outside God or some external entity that's in control of you, and you would never identify yourself and your own divinity because you are basing it off somebody else's. A lot of the deities were or personified or at a point in time walked this plane, but a lot of them didn't. The point of those depictions in human form is to get you to understand the differences in the energies. All of the energies themselves have different volumes and different purposes. So yes, it's different names and different characteristics, but not all of them were in physical, or not even so much of physical, just personified. Period. Because personified don't necessarily mean physical. It just means that it was personified. Now, each energy has a specific role. Like in the body, you have different systems that perform different functions. So they're called different things, right? All of these things make up one body, right? So all of those gods you saw on those walls make up one fucking system, one whole. All of the deities keep maintain the order of creation. To maintain the order of creation. That's the main primary focus of the collection of deities. All those deities are but different expressions of the same source. So that's why I say once again, all is source. So no matter how many deities it is in one facet or another, they're all the same source, expressing itself as this deity, that deity, this deity, that deity, this deity, that deity. So the further you get away from the central point of the source, the less the responsibility, the less the magnitude, the less the power output, the less the perpetual function of it. In other words, the further you get away from, like if you got a wireless phone and it got an adapter, like those old house phones, the further you get away from the base, the less reception you get. Or like if you got like a video game like a Nintendo Wii or like the new PlayStations where they got the virtual reality shit, it go off sensors, and you can only be so far away from the sensor because the strength fades because of that. So the further you leave away from your sensor, the less receptivity you're gonna have with the sensor. Same shit with the source. Each portion of the source, the further it venture out, the less it's going to be connected to the totality of the source. So me being one of the first emanations, me and the other two are most close to the totality of the source and totality. So I will be most likened unto what you would call the source, or all the gods and goddesses come from. The source is eternal by nature. So if all the source, how the fuck are you not eternal? Don't come on this channel trying to dispute what I'm saying. Just listen. Take it in. Just listen. Let it marinate. Let your cells click in the beam. Without your conscious mind trying to minute and define things all the way down to the point where they broke down to a fucking atom. Some shit don't need to be done like that. Some shit needs to just be felt. so it can activate you on an energetic level, which connects you with the spiritual form of yourself. See, your emotional body is the 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 the, the, the corresponding self that would be your spiritual self in the physical realm. The closest thing you get to your spiritual self is through your emotional self. And in fact, your physical, I mean, your spiritual self is connected with your emotional self. It's correlated. They correlate together. They're counterparts. So the closest you go get to a spirit down here is through your emotions. That's why they want to control your emotions. They say shit like, stay out your feelings. And if you only knew how important your feelings were through emotions, you figure things out because it connects you with the spiritual body. That's how you get epiphanies through feeling certain shit because you are connected with your spirit directly when you are in the state of feeling. That's why that's important. This is why your emotions are such prioritized as dangerous and to keep you away from and to keep you in the belief system that you are not in control of them, to keep you from controlling them. There is nothing in life that has to do something to do with you that you can't control. They lying to you. What the fuck you mean you can't control emotions? Want me to give you the process in 30 seconds? Let me show you how to control your fucking emotions. This is how easy it is. This is the process. In the beginning was thought. Thought up here. Can we agree that you control your thoughts? Yeah, not at first because your mind is so filled and it wanders. And an untrained mind, yes, it wanders. But even the untrained mind can be wielded. I don't want no excuses. Y'all are all God. I'm not giving y'all no fucking slack. Y'all want to call yourself gods and shit. Y'all gonna be held to that fucking standard by an actual God. There is no such thing as not being able to control your fucking self in any facet of self. And your emotions is one of the facets of self that consist of you. So how in the fuck can't you control it? Now let's go through the process. Thought. Thought influences and creates emotion. What you think you end up feeling. And then it becomes locked in because what you feel you end up thinking. And it becomes a cycle of thinking and feeling, feeling and thinking and feeling, feeling and thinking. And that's where your experience and your actions come from. Now, when you're thinking about something, you're in control of that because you can choose to continue to think about it or you can choose to not think about it. It's all up to you. So if you're in control of your thoughts, you are in control of what your thoughts create and influence, which is your emotions. So by controlling your thoughts, you are controlling what you feel, aka your emotions. Y'all just broke that shit down so simple. They see all these so-called conscious motherfuckers want to get on here and use big words to try to make themselves sound intelligent. No, that's not what a teacher is. A teacher is to simplify and to get the message across, not to be looked at a certain way. Y'all want to be looked at a certain way. I'm here to get the message across. Now, when I say that, I'm not sharing anybody's platform when they disagree with people using big words because I use big words. I'm not one of those to say that because I'm not able to understand them or use them myself. No, I'm saying that because most people don't understand them. And people that do that are trying to make themselves sound intelligent. And that's how you get a following. You get people to follow you because you sound intelligent. You're not actually intelligent. See, you are someone who mastered and mapped the Western philosophy, the Europeans' language. You're gonna brag about being intelligent when you are expressing a form of intelligence that's your oppressors. That fuck that. There's a form of intelligence of some beings that's not even that old to existence. So you call yourself intelligent because you use a bunch of words that Europeans came up with? That makes you intelligent? No, it's not. No, it's not. So them big word shit trying to make people think you are smart and shit. That's not what I'm here to do. And I definitely can do that. And I will run laps around y'all. But I know that's not what this is about. It's not about that. It's about getting the point across, getting the most accurate information out to the masses so the people can liberate themselves. That's what it's about. That's what it's about. I ain't gonna make this video super long because it don't take all that to get a point across. They be doing that for the watch time. I know more than everybody. That doesn't make you less. That's just, it is what it is. Now, like I was saying, you are eternal, so you have no death. Death is an illusion. Death is something used to control you through fear mongering. If I can get you, an eternal being, to fear something, that'll keep you away from it. That'll keep you binded to the confines of what you fear. Right? So, me telling you to fear death, you're going to fear the quote-unquote experience of dying, which brings that experience into being, because what you fear you attract just as much as what you love you attract. Of course, love has the stronger attraction power, but fear also has an attraction power. And fear is a limited consciousness, a limiting consciousness. Love is a liberating consciousness. With love, all things are possible. Love is the source. In the beginning was love, the waters of creation, where God comes from. In our culture, we call it noon, the primeval waters. That is where I come from. Before anything existed, the waters existed, which is the same thing in existence, the same energy responsible for all in one way or another. So if all comes from that, all is that. It's the same energy. You just took it, and some parts of the energy is in different volumes than other parts of it, but it's the same fucking energy. See, just because I can take a gallon of water, right? Sourced waters. I can take a gallon of water and pour it into a cup, a bowl, a juice container, pop bottle. Let's see, a fucking a shot glass. I can put one in the freezer. I could put one in the refrigerator. I could leave one sitting on the counter, room temperature. I can put one in the microwave. I could put one on the stove and boil it. Now all those different waters, which is the same water. All those different forms of water are looked at as different water, not just because of the containers or forms they're placed in, because of the volumes and functions of the water itself. Like the cold water in the freezer is in the form of ice, in the form of an ice tray. The one in the refrigerator is in a cup, so it's cold, but it's not frozen. The one in the shot glass is on the counter in room temperature, so it's not cold nor frozen. Whole different, same water. Y'all want to make this so complicated. No, this is not complicated. Simplify this so the people can get it and get the point. They're going to keep missing the point because y'all kind of use all these big ass words to sound fucking smart and educated when really you're not educated, because you are using the European standard of education. You got all this Western philosophy, but you don't got no knowledge of self. You don't know how to create sidebars. You don't know how to manifest at will. You know how to speak into existence. But you got a lot of money though. European creation. You got a lot of. You got a big house though. Yeah, you got. You know what I'm saying. You got a lot of nice clothes, but you don't have nothing for self. Your connection with nature ain't on fleek like your followers are. Your followers through the roof, but your receptivity to your higher self. I'm gonna sip this tea on that one. Y'all egos too big. There be only portions of me. I crush all y'all pride. That ain't what I came to do. Don't engage me in no negative fashion. Don't do that. Don't do that. Because I know everything to do and say to undo you and what you feel you are. Since it's about a following, your followers won't even follow you no more. But that's not what I'm here to do. I want your followers to continue to follow you. You are the portion that you are for the portion that you are and the reason that you are that portion. So I'm going to leave you at that. I'm just going to lead you in the right direction because those that follow you are following you. In whatever direction you're going in, they are following you. So I'm here to put you in the right track. But you know, there's a lot of ego out there and people don't like to be put in their place. Well, it's just not up to y'all. Y'all like to say that y'all are gods under a god. Well, if y'all look at it that way, I'm that god that y'all are under. If you really had the deepest understanding, you would know that you are that god or that energy. You wouldn't identify yourself with anything outside of that. So that's how you compartmentalize or categorize shit. Y'all are putting yourself in the category according to y'all understanding and y'all consciousness. According to your consciousness, you are a god. You reach that level, but you are not the god, as y'all like to put it all the time. But like I just put it to y'all, it's the same exact fucking energy. No matter what volume you put it in, no matter what form or same exact energy. Like me and him. Remember I was saying it's three primary forces. Now you are in amongst of not just one, you are in the presence of two. The third one is hidden, and that's ironic. Ra, Ray, however you want to pronounce my name, Amun, and Ptah are the Godhead. This is Ptah. Me and him are in two different bodies. We got two different names. We come from two different parts of the same hood. We got two different mothers. We got two different styles of everything we do. But we also have the same in a lot of areas. A lot of areas we're the same in. See, we so fixated on focusing on the differences you have and you miss the whole point and not see what you have alike. That's called the law of relativity. See, this is a universal law. See, y'all so fixated on having the knowledge and knowing the knowledge, but knowing is only one part of it. See, y'all got all this knowledge, but where's your understanding? You can know anything, but do you understand what the fuck you know?
Do you know how to use what you know?
It takes understanding to do that. With understanding comes the application of what you know, aka knowing how to use it. You understand what you are dealing with. That's why our culture is predicated the way it is. See, like I just said before, all the different personifications of the deities was to get you to energy has different facets and different forms and different purposes, and identify with it as a connectedness with you, not to look at it as an external force. because there is nothing external. When you really want to be technical about things, if the inner world creates the outer world, the inner world is the outer world. So there is no outer world. It's all the inner world. The outer world is merely a projection of the inner world. So meaning there's really no outer world. But that's another teaching. Right now, we're focused on the fact that we are immortal. We are eternal. How can you not be? What you call death is only, first of all, what you call death is temporary. Define death according to the European standard. Because I'm going to keep saying this because people like to brag about this knowledge that they accumulated and they got it from Europeans. So according to the European standard, define death. How many motherfuckers in the afterlife fit that fucking category? If there is afterlife, meaning they're not dead, meaning they're alive somewhere else.
After a process of afterlife means it's a process of life, in life, which means that it's still life, it's just a phase. You gonna know the phase, so you don't come to the identifying of that. So your unacknowledgement is death, and you cut off every acknowledgement past that exists, though you have not come to profound that. So you negate it instantly. It don't exist. Out of sight, out of mind. It don't exist.
So if I move to California from Texas, I'm technically not in Texas anymore. Technically and figuratively, however you want to put it, I'm not there anymore. I am in California. So if I'm not there, I'm in another place other than the place that I just was previously, would mean that I'm dead to those who is in that place.
Definitely.
Because the people you say is dead is in what? Heaven or hell, right? So that means they're in some other place, meaning they're alive in that place. So how are they dead?
I don't care how you chop it.
So death is an illusion. Death is a temporary illusion at that. Temporary illusion at that. You are an eternal being. You, like I said before in the beginning of the video, you can't identify yourself, your sense of self with the body, because if that was the case, who the fuck is the person you are when you go to sleep? And the body that you are in be laying there inanimate, no movement. I'm not gonna say no movement. I'm gonna say minimal movement. But when you are in your dream, your movement don't be limited at all. It be just like you still woke, the same kind of movements, if not more freedom, depending on your level of consciousness.
Your vibratorial sleep.
Your vibratory
essence.
rate. Your vibratory rate determine that. Were you vibrating that consciously and subconsciously, gonna determine your kind of dreams. So how you vibrating depends on you.
You know, some people don't have nightmares because of how they vibrate.
Facts.
And others have dreams because of how they vibrate. Some have neither because how they vibrate. It's that. It's that.
I'd have been in all three categories.
It's that.
I done been in the dreams category. I done been in the nightmares category. And recently, I'm just coming out of the no nothing, just sleep
category.
It be, I don't have a dream or I don't have a nightmare. I just be just sleep. I go to sleep and I wake up with no memories of what happened because nothing happened.
And that's
right. I simply was just in a state of rest. That's recharging my vessel.
That's what you would call restless, because at that point you have nothing to show for your rest. So that's restless. You have no experience upon resting. Restless.
It's a neutral point. It's not good or bad. It simply is. Like neutral. You can go either way with that, but it's no direction to neutral.
Neutral is not going no way.
No way.
It's neutral. Which way is my hand going? Anybody say which way my hand going?
It's a limited perception.
It's neutral as fuck right now. You don't know what neutral mean. It's no going with neutral. It's a no-go. Now you change from neutral, then the motion is potential in either direction. But neutral, it's a no-go. Motherfuckers be saying they neutral, but go. And that's why that is misunderstood and cause a big misunderstanding because you're not neutral. You're fighting as you are, but you out of substance, which is going to create something external to that because you're going against what is for whatever that is you're going against it for. That could be an illusion. It could be some influence from elsewhere, but you're doing it. That's the thing. That's all that matters is you doing it. Not what somebody else told you to do, not what somebody else convinced you, not what somebody else anything. It's what you took, how you took it, what you did with it upon taking it, what you intended on doing upon taking it. All that is you. You. At the end of the day. And who was it in the beginning? So
Piggyback. Like I said in the beginning of this live video, we all are the source. It's just simply different variations. Now, you can't ever say shit like I'm racist. I seeded the root races. Who racist? All is source. No way around that. Now, whether the aspects or portions of source are being expressed in a good or bad way is neither here nor there. But at the end of the fucking day, if nothing existed and the only thing that did exist wasn't even a thing, all things sprang from this central point. Everything that is came from what wasn't. In other words, the source don't exist and exists because existence itself has a time period. It was a point in time where existence itself didn't exist, but source did.
y'all don't get that.
That might be hard to grasp because you think of with a human mind, but all things, see these words hold vibrations and they like spells and shit. You, excuse me, just word. Now, these words hold vibrations that pull you into certain states of consciousness. So when you say certain things and you start to feel a certain way behind it, it's because of that. All is energy. The energy, which is the source. The energy transforms in many different forms, facets, aspects, variations. Just like your body, you have many different types of cells. You have many different types of organs. You got many types of systems in your body. You got bone structure. You got
It's not just one organ.
It's not just one bone.
It's not just one bone.
It's not just one system. It's not just one cell.
It's not just one finger.
There's many different of the same energy. All of that is different volumes and expressions of the same energy. So all is source. So all is eternal.
That's crazy. It's not just the multiple
Phone got hot as hell.
the multiple personalities you carry. You
Our-
carry so many different attributes. It's shit that be like, you not from here. Where did that come from? Or damn, that nigga out of this world. That you are what I just said.
It's crazy because even when you get this cold, it's still be hot. See, now we got technical difficulties. Shit, it's always a catch. It's just too. It's going too good. I'll be back in there to cool down. So we're gonna hold it like this for a minute to get it all the way cool. But all by definition is eternal. We are all. We are the source. I say we as a connection to y'all. All is one. The law of one states that all things, no matter what the count of it is, how many you can name, all of creation is all one. It's all one. Like you can have 1,000 people, you can have 1,000,000 people, but all them people consist of one body of people, one group of people, one organization of people, one gang of people. However you want to label them, it's one. Same shit, same principle apply for creation. It's all one. So the laws that govern nature states things that go against these man-made laws that states separation and division. Y'all going off the European standard, which is a duality-based mindset. It's not even that old. The oneness is eternal and it has no time frame. It has no beginning because it is the source. The source is the one. And the one in physicality is the one that knows that it is the source in the body and expresses that. Not just knows and lives that knowing, which is being an example for the rest of the aspects that don't remember who they are. Due to amnesia, due to incarnation, you lose your memory temporarily. It's part of the process. And that's another thing that makes you so great. You forget who you are
On purpose.
on purpose. Completely disconnect from your divinity and reconnect. And not only liberate yourself, liberate those around you. Come on, man.
Boy, that's like
Come on, man.
starting the game,
Come on, man.
getting all the way built up, and a motherfucker come
Racial shit.
and kick the power cord. Woo, shit! Gotta do this all over again.
But you do it.
Do it.
And then not only you do it, you get more shit that you had before they kick the power out. And not only that, you show other motherfuckers how to do it. That will be called a game master.
You just Drew Brees. It's
An eternal being to willingly go into a place where you're pretty much disconnected from the all of existence, the source, and go into a limited state of being, knowing you're gonna be suffering, knowing you're gonna go through bullshit, knowing this. It takes an eternal being to be able to even think about doing something like that.
hell yeah, because who not anything outside of that gonna do that?
Who would choose to do some shit like that? Who would be in heaven and choose to come to earth? knowing how Earth is now.
You can't even show me a retard. You can't even pull me a retard.
I chose to come here by choice. I picked this lifetime, this body, this age, this group of people that's going to be around me in this lifetime I was going to experience and meet. I chose all of this shit. Why would you do that? Why would I do that? Well, I can answer that for you. Partly I can answer it because the other part is due through the actions of actually doing it. But I can answer that in the verbal portion of answering it. The verbal portion of answering it is for me to do that. It's like it applies pressure because all y'all like to use excuses about, oh, I went through this or I went through that, oh, this and such A, B, and C happened to me. This motherfucker did this to me. You can't say this and that should have been this way because you don't know what I went through. Well, I went through everything, literally. And if me doing that, going through all of that, and still making it back, you have no excuse. If you only went through the stuff that you went through, you didn't go through the stuff that everybody else went through. You only went through what you went through. I went through what everybody went through. Everybody. There was nothing I haven't been through down here in this lifetime. And I can speak for other lifetimes, but that's what y'all discredit calling pseudo and shit like that. It's funny how y'all like to say shit like pseudoscience, but y'all believe Europeans left this plane, went out of space and shit like that. Y'all believe that. But reincarnation is pseudoscience, shit like that. Like, what? How do that make sense? Your selectivity is at that level that you choose what's far-fetched and what's not, when far-fetched should encompass the word itself and everything that applies to being far-fetched. It shouldn't be, oh, this is far-fetched, but the shit is right next to far-fetched because I gravitate to that. What? Whether you gravitate to it or not don't make it less far-fetched or more far-fetched. So if you would believe that somebody went outside of this world and traveled through this fictional space that they keep showing you through this CGI shit that you just believe in so much, y'all so-called smart-ass conscious niggas got all these fucking NASA references and different planet references, but they have no proof of this actually being that. They're just telling you this and showing you fake imagery. You yourself have not seen it. But you yourself have seen the contrary of what they've been telling you. Like the ground you walk on is a flat ground, even, Steven. But you are told that you live on a ball. At what point do the ground start to ball up? You mean to tell me that you can't see the curvature, but you can see that it's flat? I'm supposed to have faith in this curvature? I'm supposed to believe in some equations? A motherfucker can put a bunch of numbers together and make it equal whatever the fuck they want it to equal out to. Anybody can do that. But, you know, when I tell you to look out your own eye, something that you can prove yourself, that you don't need faith for, or a NASA scientist. Oh, no, that's not you. That's not valid. You can't use that as a point of reference. How? Your point of reference comes from somebody who lied to you.
You know what it is? Y'all have a problem with face value. Y'all had this thing where it's a complex because you will take from something else before you take from yourself. Now I don't know if it's the terminology of take. Do it sound bad to take from yourself? And do it sound good to take from someone else? I don't know what it is, but you take from others like advice. Motherfuckers don't take their own advice. They'll give you some shit, boy. I don't know where it come from. It come from them. They'll give you some shit that you never seen them use their damn self. And I'm like, how the fuck did you give me that? How do you possess this, but you not possessed by it?
Man, beat it. Slap shit out
You can't tell me, nigga. You can't tell me you smell good with shit on you and expect me to believe it. Shit, no.
shit like that.
No, you can't do it. It's written all over your face. And I'm facing you.
Face value. Face value. Y'all motherfuckers don't even face value when you face value. He said the same thing. No, I did. Face value. I paraphrased the word. Then I said, y'all motherfuckers don't even face value when you face value. Meaning, it's fucked up. You gotta break shit down like this to adults who call themselves intellectuals. But okay, face value. Facing something that's valuable.
Taking it for what
it is. It's called taking it at face value. But the other side of it was me saying, you won't be able to take it for what it is because you don't even acknowledge the value when looking at value itself. So you couldn't face value even if you face value. You can be looking at it and not even know you looking what the fuck you looking at. So how you gonna face value?
Yeah, I can't. You can't call it, nigga. How you gonna call something when you don't know what it is? What you gonna call it? Or what you gonna call it? Yeah. You didn't think it was gonna go there. But where the fuck he was gonna go? Nowhere? You don't know where. You can't even go there.
Nowhere.
Woo.
Oh. I'm gonna share. Stop allowing them to dictate how you identify with yourself. People so scared to think of themselves in a certain way because of what other people would think of themselves. That's a mental chain that you have to break yourself. See, it sounds cruel and all that, but you know, once you become awake, you are responsible for fixing what they broke. It's fucked up, but once you know what you are, you know that you are fully capable of doing this. So it gets less sad when you have full knowledge of self and full self-love of the knowledge of self. Once you know who you are, it pretty much fall all together. You just gotta face your own limitations that you set on yourself when you asleep. Because a lot of those programs are still running in your mind and you don't even realize it. When you experience certain shit, you experiencing that because of what you had in your mind previously to you awakening. It don't just end because you awoke. It don't just poof off, just begin. Fuck. It don't just poof and just all just map out just so perfect because no. Now you have to put everything in order. Now you know that you have the ability to do this. Now you have to do this. You have to go in and undo all of those things that kept you limited, that kept you in a state of limitation, in a state of lower vibration, in a state of anger, stress, pain, lack. All of these lower vibrational things were set in your subconscious by those who don't control you. They simply use means to get you to control yourself to fit their agenda.
In a way that
benefits them.
Which means they control you. Why would they control you? Because of their thoughts become yours. They don't control you. Their thoughts become yours. See, your pride will get in the middle of someone controlling you. So I'm not going to use someone controlling you because technically they're not controlling you. They have convinced you through your psyche to believe what they believe, how they perceive, to perceive how they perceive. When you can impossibly perceive what they perceive because you're not them. They're not you. And those origins are oldest to the distance. That's a large gap. Caucasian and you. It's a large gap. You don't even naturally take the same, intake the same, or outtake the same. You don't. You need the sun. They leave the sun. You love the heat.
They let it come.
Them motherfuckers hibernate in the summer.
Them motherfuckers skinny dip in ice water.
You hibernate in the winter. They hibernate in the summer. Them motherfuckers about to get a motherfucking what you call it in the summer for indecent exposure. Just because it's that.
It's crazy because what gives all life and sustains all life, they run from that.
Why? If I see a flower run, I want to know what from, because I'm about to go in the same direction. But ain't no flower running from what the fuck grows it.
Fuck.
But these motherfuckers, they far from a flower. And if you talking about taking your ass back to the dirt where you didn't come from, these motherfuckers running from where the flower come from, dirt. Where the fuck they going back to? Where they going back to? Because we ain't come from the same place. So where they going back?
Fuck you mean?
Cuz live.
Oh,
Shorty.
show this bitch to the book. Oh, do me a favor. Go in the book, all right? And see if you can go to this. No. See if no, I ain't on that page.
Okay.
My page. Right there. Click on it. It says live.
It say live. It says watching now, so I guess live. Say watching now.
Like
Girl watching now.
Like it. What that shit say?
Like this video, sign in to make your opinion count.
Oh wow! So you don't got a YouTube channel? You might see if you can
No, I
sign in.
do got a YouTube.
Okay. Got somebody in the building right here. Bloop. Right there.
See?
Hey, Beretta. Them niggas know that nigga. Yeah, man. We're gonna end this though. Peace, love, prosperity, y'all. On y'all journey awakening. Y'all gonna get there, man. Just let that ego go. And let your DNA be your teacher. Cause your DNA got all the information. Way more than a Google. Way more than any video.
It ain't know that as but my email is recovery email, but they won't let me get in my Yahoo.
Fuck out of here. The Masonry.
Done.